Reintroduction to Divinity for Children. Children, children of all ages, here is a story for you. It begins in ancient times, when people used to swear that gods came prior to men. For a long, long time, people were taught that the human being derives from a divine being. This seemed rather obvious to most people. Some folks might have disagreed, but in general, that is what children of all ages, were taught. Until recently. In recent years, over the past few decades, the old teaching has been replaced more and more by a new teaching. We are being taught that men made gods, that prior to divine beings, there are human beings. The divine beings are mere fictions imagined by people. What is more, we are taught that gods have always served as masks of rulers, idols that kings have long used to make people follow orders. So we now learn that the old teaching was false, that for a long time, for too long, governments, like priests, made up gods to cheat people into servitude. The divine served to make the human rulers look important, even scary. Hardly anyone would try to contradict a king who was backed by a god. Now, this new teaching that wants to displace the old teaching, this new teaching assumes that rulers, rather than people, seek gods. The new teachers believe that gods are created unfairly by masters to cheat slaves. Old teachers, on the other hand, would say that slaves sought out gods over and above all human masters, and that they accepted these human masters only insofar as they could not find the gods they sought, and as long as the masters agreed that what the people sought was not human masters, but gods, and that kings, governors, and the like were mere makeshift points of reference that people used on their quest for divine beings. The job of a king was merely to help people seek the divine. Some kings could pretend to be respectful of gods, claiming that what they said really represented a divine will. Yet, that will would need to make sense to people. Otherwise, the kings would be despised as tyrants, bad or false kings, impious impostors that should be replaced by pious images of gods. So, decorum was most important for kings because they needed to represent the gods of people. The divine the people sought as a reason to exist. The gods did not justify kings then, but the life of people willing to abide by kings' laws. Without gods, without the proper end of our natural aspirations, we would live as beasts, unwilling to listen to human rulers. Today, on the other hand, teachers would have us believe that we have no common natural aspirations, but only aspirations that are determined historically by our rulers. The old quest for the divine was coerced, not natural, they say. Rulers would trick people into accepting their subjection to the rulers. Bottom line, our teachers do not trust us, the people.